Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the spending spree. I've just deployed another 10% into altcoins since this massive dump we woke up to this morning. It's pretty impressive. Now I'm using a much less than impressive situation over here. I'm on holiday at the moment, so I take this rubbish little laptop with me so I can do updates for you if you really, really need it, to be honest with you. And I suppose you probably do need it. Now, the two things that I'm going to show you, which will be quite exciting. It might not feel like it for a lot of people who are like overexposed or completely not prepared for this. You and me, for the most part, we have been talking about a summer consolidation, haven't we? Rallying beginning probably in the fourth quarter. And all of this pullback consolidation, and I suppose you can call it a dump today, but this reminds me of what crypto used to be like. We haven't really seen moves like this in a little while, in over a year, more than that. Yeah, this is nice. This is good. This is good stuff. So the two things I'm going to try and present to you on this crummy old laptop of mine is the two things that we've been talking about for ages. And as of this morning, they've presented themselves to us on the chart. Now, going back in time, I can't really show you on this laptop here, but if you've subscribed to me, you will have seen me talk about it many, many, many times before. Getting the bullish divergence on the money flow index on the weekly for Bitcoin, or even bearish divergence, almost always navigates the absolute top or the absolute low for either a big pullback or a big, basically, massive rally. Uh, it's always been accurate, and we are seeing that now. Now, this is day one. This is only Monday, so we've got to see a candle body close. So it takes an educated guess to assume that it's worthy of a stab. But we've got a low here, and now we've got a lower low on price action. We've got a low, and we've got a higher low forming on the money flow index. We've also got that on the RSI, by the way. So two hits are better than one. Normally, two drives or a single drive, so should we say, on the money flow index is all you need on a weekly. So now we've actually received that, and this is something we're talking about on the Patreon. Now, I would be much happier to try and indicate and maybe even call for a low in the market, an absolute low, if we were to get this read, because historically all the lows are presented this way, and so we're sort of getting it now. Yeah, we're having a bit of a bounce at the moment, a little bit of a measly bounce, but from the top to the bottom for Bitcoin itself, if we were to measure the top all the way down to this wick low that we've seen this morning, it's only 34%. All right, now you've got to think about what that actually means. There's nothing really. That's a baby step. Even if you bought the top on Bitcoin, and I mean the absolute wick top, and you sailed it down to where we live right now on this chart, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Bitcoin in the last bull market pulled back, 50%, 60%, over 60% at times, from the top to the bottom and then back up again. It's actually all part of the game. It's all part of the normal process. So, like I say, incremental buybacks on the way down throughout these big dollar cost average events. This is one. And this is one that, like I say, I'm not going to call for the absolute wick low, but I'm talking about a weekly chart here giving signs and signals indicated in the same way as it has done previously. We're going to find a low, if not already found the low. But let me, obviously, and I'm sure you're all aware, chaos resumes globally, certainly in the UK, but that's not going to affect anything other than the price of a Greg's pasty at the moment. But absolutely chaos, craziness all over the place, and unpredictability. And with that will come unpredictability with price action. Everything's correlated. We all know that. The whole world is correlated. All financial markets are correlated in one way or another. It's like throwing a brick into a pond, and then the ripples sort of spread out, and then eventually they settle and the ducks can swim. At the moment, like I said, and I think this is the message I left on the Patreon, just, if you're trading this market, recognize that you're trading in a storm, right? And the reason I say that is that I often use the analogy of crypto being like, or trading in general, just being like going fishing. And you can fish on a calm day and you'll probably have a nice time, catch a fish, but you can't rush the fish to the hook. You just got to sit there and wait. If you're trading in a storm, the fish are probably going to be all over the place. They don't know what the hell's going on. Lightning, thunder, tons of rain, hail, whatever's coming next. You don't know. Makes the environment a lot harder to catch a fish. And that's kind of what trading's like at the moment. It's a lot harder to make a successful trade when the volatility is obviously present on the charts, but repercussions of global events taking place only make it worse. But that said, charts are my thing, and the chart has now finally come to look like it wants to give that bullish divergence read on this money flow index. So obviously we're going to have to wait a whole week for it to close, and then we'll decide what the reality actually is. But for me, it's good enough for me to go for, because like I say, I've been in a large cash position, dollar cost averaging on the way down into altcoins, specifically altcoins, because I've got more than enough Bitcoins. Thank you very much. Don't need any more of those. Same with Ethereum. Got plenty of Ethereum. I've been holding on to the vast majority of these for years. So these the price action right now is it's just it's nothing really for that. But from building up my portfolio, for instance, yeah, very attractive prices. Absolutely loving it. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you, and again, because this laptop is not having a good time at all, is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Take this for what it is. I'm just presenting it to you because I like charts. This is something we've been waiting for. And I'm not rotating any of my Bitcoins, not while I'm on holiday. No, there's no way I'm going to be trying to pull all these things out of cold storage and absolutely not. No way. No way. However, it is getting to an interesting position on this chart. This is the dominance chart reaching a major resistance, a resistance box, should we say, on the dominance chart. Starts around about 56% dominance, and then it crashes. But you got the idea while it was there. You saw it for what it was worth. There's a box of significance, roughly between 56 and 58.5% dominance, and that's where we are. Again, for some reason, my computer cannot handle that, but we are at that right now. So we've got the bullish divergence money flow index on Bitcoin, and with the RSI on Bitcoin on the weekly, usually good for spotting a major low. We've also hit a major resistance we're inside a box of resistance of the dominance chart, which again is pretty amazing stuff as well. So it might feel like the end is here, but for me, it's the start of the beginning, to be honest with you. Just like Matt Damon said at the peak of the bull market, last bull market, be brave. He really needs to come out and say it now, because if you want to be brave, you've got to buy the major dips. You've got to be patient enough to wait, which is what we were, selling in December and then clearing out the rest of our trades throughout January, March, April, and now buying back throughout this summer. And today has probably been the first day where I've been particularly excited about this consolidation perhaps coming to a low. So the dollar cost average events that that I've been doing over the last couple of months started very small. The first one was only like 5% of that cash position, ramping up with the bigger dips down, especially as we went down into the 52,000 area. And today, like really quite exciting dip now, and more than happy to deploy a full 10% of my cash position, which is a lot of money. I can tell you that now. It's a lot of money. And that leaves, again, 40% in cash. It's still a lot of money on the sidelines in the event that we do go down. And if we do keep going down, you can take yourself to a monthly. You can really get a gauge and a good feel about what it is that Bitcoin's actually doing right now. It's only just lost the 10 exponential on the monthly, which allows for a 21 exponential down here around 47,000. And then the center of the Bollinger Band down here as well, which corresponds to a lot of the candle bodies on the monthly, which is down to 40,000. You may be lucky to catch that down there. Hopefully we will get something like that down there, and that'll be an amazing dump. And I'm not going to say that it can't happen. It certainly could happen, but currently right now the monthly is a bullish chart still, so let's respect that for what it is. The monthly is a bullish chart. We had the same sort of consolidation over here 2019, the beginning of that bull market. Looking at this on the monthly, it's kind of similar in its behavior, and you can only sort of see where it went parabolic after that. So we went up, beginning of the bull market, came down 10, 20, 20, 21, sort of basing around these areas, and then obviously had your March crash, and then that was it. The rest was history. Never saw it all again, eaten in the dust. So it's a different market, definitely. But as far as the chart is concerned, on the monthly, this is a very bullish chart still. Even on the weekly, it's bullish. We've only just gone down to retest the 50 weekly moving average in the form of a golden cross. So this is all still very bullish. But again, remember, we're only 34% down from the wick high to where we wicked low today. That is small for Bitcoin. It's kind of standard. That's not the 50, 60 that you've seen retrace from the top to the bottom in the previous bull markets. So remember what it is that we're looking at here. It's not that bad. It might feel bad for those who bought the peak of altcoins when I was telling everybody not to be greedy and don't get used to high prices. Most of you, I'm sure, have listened to that advice. Those who haven't probably are unable to listen to anything at all right now. They're probably having a very bad day. But for me, I'm very happy with this. And from the bid that I put in already, are already up several thousand from Bitcoin's wick low. Right, I'm going to leave with you there. Hopefully this video is in some way useful. I'm going to probably have to try and reset this laptop as best I can to try and get some kind of sense out of it moving forward, because I imagine you're going to want to listen to some form of analysis. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better, more constructive and visibly appealing than what you've received this morning. Other than that though, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.